Okay, welcome to part 4, our last video where we bring everything together with sample case studies using real colleges. I mentioned earlier that the sticker price or cost of attendance isn't relevant for most families, and now you know why. It's all about the net cost to you out of pocket after aid. As a result, sometimes the less expensive public college ends up costing more out of pocket than the more expensive private college that you see happening in this example. Pretend this is your situation. You're looking at two schools, in-state versus private university, one at $25,000 and one at $52,000. The costs, as you see here, this is a little reminder of the average cost for in-state university at $25,000 per year, as well as the average private university at $52,000. Well, the expected family contribution is going to remain the same. This is officially calculated by the FAFSA and hopefully unofficially estimated by you just as soon as possible. You see that after financial aid here, the much more expensive prestigious college ends up costing less to attend than the in-state school, set $10,000 versus $17,000. Why would the elite private university cost less? Well, again, remember, some colleges provide up to 100% of need. Remember, we looked at Vanderbilt on collegedata.com, and we saw that Vanderbilt, and not just Vanderbilt, other elite private universities, Harvard, MIT, all the Ivies are going to provide up to 100% for folks who have demonstrated high financial need. On the next slide, we're going to see an example of a family with no demonstrated financial need. So here we have two schools that we're looking at. Let's say MIT and Case Western Reserve, two actual schools. We're going to try to get down to the net cost for all 4 years, down to the dollar. And we see that right off the bat, $75,000 as an expected family contribution is really high. Obviously, this is going to be a high-income family. When they do their FAFSA, let's say this is the official number, $75,000. Remember, on the four-quadrant chart that we looked at earlier, this is going to be definitely no academic need, or we'll say low academic need, in this case none, but a high merit type of a family. So this is going to be in that particular quadrant. Does MIT offer any merit-based financial aid? Nope. But Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio does, and is willing to pay for your student to enroll there. And we see $20,000 per year or $80,000 over 4 years, which is a substantial amount of money, representing quite a discount off of the 4-year sticker price of almost $250,000. This is a good illustration, I think, of why school selection is so important on the front end and knowing what type of family you are for financial aid purposes. Hope this concept is starting to really sink in. Also, I found a free tool, by the way, recently to help you compare financial awards. Let's say you've already applied to the schools, and now you've waited and your fingers crossed and you're getting back award letters from these schools. What do you do then? Well, there's a free tool out there from collegeboard.org that will allow you to compare those awards and hopefully make a good, smart decision based on the financial aid packages that are being offered to you. Okay, continuing with the Case Western Reserve example, let's say hypothetically that the student didn't want to go to MIT at all, but really wanted to go to Case Western Reserve, but needed an offer from MIT to use as a bargaining chip to make a competitive appeal with Case Western, which can absolutely be done. It worked out great for the student because Case Western agreed to compete with MIT for this student by increasing the scholarship to $25,000. So this is $100,000 over 4 years. It's an awesome win for the student and for the family. Appeals like this are generally handled best by the student and parents in person with the college's financial aid officer, as opposed to, say, paying a service or a person to speak on your behalf to the colleges. And I mean, how far ahead could a student like this be after college? Remember, $100 per every $10,000 of student loan on the payback side of things, $100 per month for every $10,000. Well, here we have $100,000 of debt that we've avoided. So that's $1,000 monthly payment that we've avoided every month, which I think would translate in anyone's situation to so much more flexibility and financial freedom that can be done with this type of planning. Now, being able to visualize life on the other side of college from a budgeting perspective is really what the last part of our presentation is going to look at. Let's start by looking at a situation comparing two schools, Illinois and Ohio State. We'll look at Illinois first. And here we have a situation where, let's say this was your family. We have an expected family contribution of $53,000. The cost of attendance is $46,000, $201,000 over the course of 4 years, adjusting for college inflation. In this situation, we have zero demonstrated financial need because of our rather steep family contribution, what the family is supposed to kick in. So we're really left hoping and planning just to get a gift scholarship of $10,000. We've put that in there. We've got, quote, self-help, which that's going to be our Stafford loan for our freshman year at $5,500. That leaves roughly $31,000 of unmet costs that we've got to come up with. $31,168. So how would you do this? How would you figure out how to come up with this unmet cost over the next 4 years if you had to? Well, as you might have guessed, we've got to borrow. Yes. So in this case, mom and dad are borrowing. Here we show they're borrowing the max of, or a total, we'll say, not even the max, but a total of $71,945. You see this amount here, and we've got the student loans. This is going to be the Stafford loans totaling $27,000 over the course of 4 years. That's the max. Between the loans, the 529 values, cash flow, and a little bit of help from grandma, we've covered the cost down to the dollar roughly. You know, we're good for now, but what about later? What does the future look like for our student and for mom or dad for that matter? Almost $100,000, $98,945 to be exact. $100,000, approximately $1,000 per month, 10 years, $634 or some dollars over 25 years. Over 25 years. But as we know, you're going to triple the interest that you've paid back over that time period. Unfortunately, that's just the way the numbers are going to look for this particular family. So a question would be, well, how would that student feel on the front end of things, knowing that on the back end of things, this is what his or her monthly budget is going to look like. This is Illinois. How do you feel about Ohio State? So let's look at Ohio State. By comparison, the cost of attendance is $25,539. Illinois, you'll remember, $46,668. Quite a big difference. A lot cheaper with Ohio State. We pop in the same expected family contribution, $53,000. Also, you won't qualify for financial aid here either. But guess what? The future payback mode isn't so worrisome for Ohio State either. With Ohio State, we actually get a private scholarship, as we see here, and we get work study for $10,000 here, which gives us enough money that mom and dad don't have to take out any loans. Not only that, but the total loan amount is lower and the monthly payment only $418 per month for 10 years instead of $1,000. That's around $600 of extra cash at the end of the month for the student after graduation. And I mean, that could be a substantial amount of money for this person just starting out, not having to pay that back. So your child ends up going to Ohio State. They're very happy about it. This is the one-page college funding plan down to the dollar. Imagine for a second that you visit Ohio State with information like this down on paper in your back pocket. I think it really would give you some peace of mind knowing that as you walk through the campus and you check out all the buildings and you know that it's a great fit academically and you know it's a great fit socially, and now you know it's a great fit financially. No need to worry, no need to lose sleep. You don't have to worry about how to pay for it. It's all spelled out. And with your enhanced skills, knowledge, extra superpowers financially, when it comes to college planning in hand, my hope is that you won't end up like a family in this cartoon, which isn't a cartoon. This is real life for a lot of families. And we know that you'll be able to avoid that with this information. Okay, that's it. You've done it. Congratulations. You made it through. You're now empowered. You're now educated, more informed, shopper of higher education. Take this material, add it to the additional research that I'm sure you're going to do, and put it to great use for your family. Before you go, just a quick recap here. We talked about to death, I feel like, about the expected family contribution, the importance of minimizing that number for your family to qualify for more aid. There's no silver bullet here, as you'll notice as we've gone through all of these slides. There is no one quick, one-size-fits-all solution for every single family. But there are a lot of things, depending on your situation, that you can do legitimately and sensibly to reduce your family's expected contribution. Every family is unique and different. There's just no way to point out all of the strategies in this presentation. We also talked about how important your college list is, particularly when setting up an opportunity to ask for a competitive appeal with the college colleges that your student really does want to attend. We discussed the rule of thumb about not letting the student loan debts exceed the first year average annual starting salary in the field the student will be entering, and also looking ahead into the future to determine what the student's monthly budget's going to look like with having to make these monthly loan payments. We discussed cash flow, and I'll leave you with one idea for cash flow, and that would be considering right now, while your child is in high school, how much you're spending on food, school activities, school bands, sports equipment. Add it all up, because once your child's in college, you're not having to pay that because they're gone, but still pretend like you do have to pay that, and just simply put that toward paying for college, and just call that cash flow. We didn't get too deep into shifting assets, gifting assets or income shifting. These two strategies are for families with really high expected family contributions, way too high to qualify for any financial need or need-based financial aid. I think of these two strategies as tax scholarships because really what we're doing is adding value to the family from a tax standpoint by looking at whether or not gifting assets to the student and then selling those assets at the student's tax rate would create tax savings. Income shifting might apply perhaps to a small business owner where the child might be employed by the business and income earned and taxed at the child's rate instead of the business's or the business owner's rate. These two strategies I really believe work best if the family's CPAs involved, and it can help crunch the numbers to determine if whether or not implementing either of these strategies makes sense in light of what we're trying to do on the college planning and retirement savings side for mom and dad. It's not something that's going to apply to everyone, but if you are a business owner or an affluent family and just simply don't want to write checks for the full sticker price of college every year for every child, then it certainly would be something for you to explore. Again, review this material if you'd like. Don't forget to download the free material and check out all of the free online resources out there that I mentioned. And after that, if you'd still like someone to come alongside you to help you sort all of things out, please give me a call. We can do a quick 30-minute call together. A little bit about me as a certified financial planner. My job isn't to talk you into or persuading you into buying stuff from me, but really to provide the information, analysis, education regarding college planning to help you pay for your college costs down to the dollar without robbing your retirement and investing to make the whole thing work. I'm not a college planner, but a financial planner who specializes in college planning, and I think that's a distinction because I really believe for the best results, college planning has to be a blended solution, balancing the other key financial areas, not just college planning done on its own to itself. The goal is to create a comprehensive college funding strategy that maximizes aid, minimizes loans, and still keeps the retirement savings on track. So feel free, drop me a line if you'd like to set up a 30-minute call, discuss your situation. just to see if I'm able to help or not. If I am able to help, I'll let you know the fee right up front. If I'm not able to help, you'll still have this information to a new approach to college funding that I'm sure will help you save on the cost of college. And hey, the money that you save on college can be used elsewhere to further benefit your family. For example, take an awesome family trip before everyone runs off to college. Thanks again. Appreciate your time, and all the best to you and your family.